たのね。ここですか？ここが。彼らと会ったおかげで。会いたいな。
What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're going to be showcasing the One Piece Day Legend for 2023, being the Vivi Rebecca Shirahoshi Mansherry Reverie Legend character. Now, look, a lot of people were not expecting this specifically to be the One Piece Day Legend, but it is an interesting choice, you know, obviously going in with the theming of One Piece Girls event throughout the month of July thus far. And this is a very interesting unit and does have some very unique mechanics, and I do think may see some niche usages in the future. So we're going to go ahead and discuss this character, and I'll give my thoughts and opinions about what I feel about this unit since being able to use this character thus far. I really don't know where I'm going to put some of these characters on the tier list. It's going to be interesting to see and find out. But let's go ahead and start talking about this unit. So Captain ability, which is one of the least desirable components of this unit in general, has a very bland Captain ability of a 4.5 Rainbow attack boost, 1.2 Rainbow health boost, and then gives everyone a 1.2 color affinity boost. Meaning that basically if you attack with type advantage, you're dealing 5.4 times multiplier Captain. Which is good, obviously, but the thing is you have to attack with type advantage. If you don't have type advantage, it's still going down to 4.5, which in today's standards is pretty much bare minimum. And then, you know, if you attack with type disadvantage, the 1.2 does work against you. I don't know the exact calculations off the top of my head, but you just get way less damage. So, look, multiplier-wise, it's barely acceptable in my eyes. The effect also gives strength, int, and tandem slots matching, which is pretty cool, I guess. And then there's a healing component. So if you hit a perfect, a great, or a good, you'll get different values of recovery back. And if you hit goods, you get the most back. Very similar to Legend Corazon when he released back in the day. So Captain ability, as I said, probably the least desirable component. And through using this character as the captain, I just felt like it was just way better to utilize hybrid scenarios. But we'll talk about, you know, when we get to the special, because the special is a very, very interesting component of this unit where you actually kind of want to run double Shirahoshi Mansherry Vivi Rebecca, but does actually hybrid pretty well with a lot of other units in the game, luckily because they are cerebral and free spirit. So great synergy across the board with types and classes. But yeah, captain ability by itself, not the best. And then of course if you use them as the captain, you get access to the super type effect, which you need one of the Straw Hats to activate it, or you can use Viola, Leo, Neptune, or Kobe. The effect itself is interesting, changing the top and bottom row slots into rainbow slots, and then it reduces their own special charge time by 5 turns, increases your max HP by 20% permanently, and also gives you a 30% heal that can overheal, as well as Dex becoming super Dex. So the super type special is akin to characters such as Halloween Koala. Her legend counterpart allows you to do the same thing of a permanent HP increase, as well as give you a bit of healing back. This character does have the ability to give -5 to themselves, which is very good because their special cooldown is pretty high, so being able to just do that is fantastic. Also, you could use it to deal with special reverse mechanics. There's some pretty cool uses for that, but the most important effect of this character is changing top and row bottom slots into rainbow, and with the way that this character is built, utilizing rainbow is important because of the way that their special works. It is unfortunate though because there isn't any other component in this character's kit that can generate rainbow slots, meaning if you're not using them as a captain, you cannot get access to rainbow slots unless if you have another character on the crew that can already do that. So that's going to be one of the big issues utilizing this character in the future, is if you want to utilize the most out of their special, you need to use them as the captain, and you know, they're not the best captain as we already touched up on, so it already makes them a little shaky to use them moving forward into the future. So let's move on to the special, which is probably the most important mechanic in this character's entire kit. So the special itself does reduce despair by 6 turns, which is kind of nice, but also being one of the first characters in the game that can remove the healing equals damage debuff or the recovery slots equals damage debuff. So that's really neat. As I said, you know, that this is like one of the only characters, if not the only character in the game that can actually remove that debuff, which is kind of cool. 6 turns of removal of that is kind of weird. I would have preferred it if it just completely removed it altogether. I think there have been times in the past where you get inflicted with this debuff and it is more than 6 turns. So it is interesting that this character only removes 6 turns of it, but the despair removal is kind of nice. Also, boosting attack of strength, dex, and int characters by 2.75 for 2 turns, and then cerebral characters will get a 2.75 times orb boost for 2 turns. So this is, again, another weird component here, where you want to build characters in this team that are strength, dex, and int, as well as them also being cerebral, so that you can actually receive both buffs from this character's special. Furthermore, this is where things get a little dicey. So it says that if this character slot is a rainbow slot when you launch the special, it extends the duration of the crew's damage boosting effects by 1 turn, and then it says it changes the attack multiplier of rainbow slots to 2.75 for 3 turns, and then changes their own slot from rainbow into tandem that ignores the inability to change those rainbow slots. So we saw this with Enmazoro during the anniversary. When you use his special when he has a Wano slot, he can change his own Wano slot into tandem, and this is the similar kind of thing here. But the most interesting component here is the fact that if you have a rainbow slot, you extend the duration of your damage boosting effects by 1 turn. So this includes attack boosts, orb boost, affinity, chain. I believe it also extends the duration of these rainbow slots being available, buffing them, from 2.75 multiply. I believe it extends that as well. But the crux of the issue is that when you launch the special while you have a rainbow slot, it doesn't actually extend the duration of the attack and orb boosts from this character's own special. You need to have withstanding damage boosting effects before you launch the special to extend them. So I think that's honestly a huge missed opportunity. I do feel like it probably should have extended this character's own special to become a 3-turn attack and orb boosting effect. So I'm a really upset about that, because it would have made some interesting team builds, and considering how important rainbow slots are for this kit, not being able to actually extend the attack and orb boost of this own character just doesn't really make a lot of sense in my eyes. And now let's briefly talk about the Super Tandem. Now, the Super Tandem requirement, it says you can only launch it on the last stage, and you need to have one of the characters that were required for the Super type special to actually activate. The effect itself is interesting, a 1.2 rainbow attack boost, as well as buffing attack orbs and affinities by 0.3, and chain boosts by 0.5. So, at face value, this is actually not a terrible Super Tandem, but the issue is that there's already ways to already give you buffs to attack orbs, affinities, and stuff like that. And if this Super Tandem actually further buffed and actually stacked on top of other boosting effects, then this Super Tandem would be absolutely broken, busted, and amazing. However, because of the fact that it doesn't actually further stack with other buffs of your other buffs, means that at face value, you're probably just getting a 1.2 attack boost, maybe a chain boost if you're even using a chain boost, and then maybe one of your other buffs buffed by 0.3, which is really not that useful. So I'm really disappointed with this character's Super Tandem. And then briefly as well, the character's support effect attaches to one of the Straw Hats, Leo, Viola, or Neptune, and if you use the special to boost attack or orbs, then you buff it by 0.1, and you change the character's slot to Rainbow, and you heal 3000 HP. Honestly, a pretty decent support that will actually see play. But that's it, guys. That's my full breakdown and character showcase of the brand new Vivi Rebecca Shirahoshi Mansherry character for One Piece Day. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this unit down below in the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed this video though, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
彼らと会ったおかげで。うんうん。会いたいな。